Pirates awakened Conqueror at the beginning. Chapter 261-276. Chapter 261 _ Hunter Guild Trends. Prehistoric Island, Hunter Guild Headquarters. In the General Counsel's office. Whitebeard sat on the sofa slashingly, looking at the beautiful scenery of Prehistoric Island outside the Hunter Guild headquarters, but he didn't pay attention to the scenery at all. The news has been confirmed. Except for the guards left at the headquarters of the Revolutionary Army, all of them went to the kingdom of Dressrosa under the king, Shichibukai Doflamingo. I am afraid this battle will start completely. Pluto Rayleigh silently lit a cigarette and puffed in the office of the General Counsel. If this is the case, I am afraid that Baizi, Kaido of the Beasts and Blackbeard Teach will all show up at that time. The world seems to be boiling. When Whitebeard heard Wang Rayleigh's words, his eyes flashed, and he was very happy at this moment. He chose to join the Hunter Guild at the beginning, otherwise he and Marco and the others would have a hard time at the moment. Yeah, no one really knows who will die in this war. Pluto Rayleigh's eyelids twitched for a moment, and he murmured. If it was before, he might not be optimistic about Baizi's side. After all, they are also the four emperors. The Doflamingo side has Kaido of the Beasts and Blackbeard Teach, plus the strongest and most mysterious Doflamingo of King Shichibukai. On the bright side, Baizi and the Revolutionary Army are at an absolute disadvantage. However, although the leader of the Revolutionary Army was killed by the mysterious man in the cloak, the current Sabo is also very strong, and even more so, the magma fruit of the Red Dagakainu, who was killed by General Baiziu, gave him Sabo. Now no one knows that. How strong Sabo is. There is one thing, there is absolutely no problem with Sabo's strength against Admiral's power at this moment. As for how strong it is unknown. Another point, and also the most important, is Huang Bai's strength. After the Revolutionary Army leader Long was killed, he directly fought against the mysterious man in the cape at the Marine headquarters. Bullet was seriously injured, and now Bullet is still there. They are the head of the Hunter Guild. Although they are in a much better state at the moment, they still can't walk on the ground. It's hard to imagine how badly Bullet was injured this time. I remember when Bullet was sent by Kuro Star, his whole body looked like coke. I couldn't believe that someone could hurt him like this. With a % of strength, I am afraid that Bullet will be directly beaten to death. It was also after seeing Bullet's miserable appearance that they had a new understanding of Baizi, and that level of strength was truly terrifying. By the way, did the vice chairman answer? Whitebeard seemed to have thought of something, and asked Rayleigh. As long as they knew that the Revolutionary Army and Baizi were going to attack the Dressrosa kingdom where Shichibukai Doflamingo was located, they began to contact the vice chairman Aizen. Contacted. I have contacted, but the vice president came with 4 words. Hold your troops and don't move. Hearing Whitebeard's words, Rayleigh's mind came to the vice chairman's decision yesterday. Stay still. Hearing this order, Whitebeard frowned tightly. Obviously he didn't expect this decision. It stands to reason that Baizi is a member of their Hunter Guild. Even if he went to support him, it was understandable. But now such a decision really makes he couldn't understand it. The other party was Shichibukai, a king, and there were 4 emperors. The vice chairman had so much confidence in Baizi. Chapter 262 _ Ace-sama is getting stronger again. The situation in the New World is a mess. All forces gathered their gazes towards the Dressrosa kingdom, the territory of the King Shichibukai Doflamingo. At this moment, the Dressrosa kingdom was in the spotlight, and as the battle time approached, the atmosphere became more and more solemn. All parties, the many soldiers of the Dressrosa kingdom, under the high pressure of Doflamingo, no one dared to shake the heart of the army. Finally, this day of the Dressrosa kingdom, without hesitation, he directly used a sturdy and domineering operation to break through the border guards. Escape. Immediately report the matter here to His Majesty Doflamingo. The border guards, Doflamingo's confidants and subordinates, did not expect the opponent's strength to be so strong that they would be defeated if they faced each other. If this continues, they will be completely wiped out. Escape. Who came to assist Sabo, curved his lips into a playful arc, open black lens bracket Enjomo, blaze net close black lens bracket. Without the slightest hesitation, he directly used a unique move against Doflamingo's confidants and subordinate cadres. In the next instant, with Doflamingo's confidants and subordinate cadres as the center, a huge circle of flames was formed in a radius of 100 meters, isolating them. The way out for everyone. Ah! An elite subordinate wanted to forcibly burst, but as soon as he was infected with Enjomo, blaze net, he was instantly burned into a charred corpse, and the shrill screams pierced the air. Shrink suddenly. Blame you for following people you shouldn't be following. Without any hesitation, Ace immediately punched Doflamingo's men who were surrounded by open black lens bracket Enjomo, blaze net close black lens bracket and smashed them. Open black lens bracket fire fist close black lens bracket. Ace arm turned into a huge flame of super high temperature, and then the flame stretched, a huge flame attack, tearing the air, and instantly smashed into the center of Enjomo, blaze net, at a fast speed in the blink of an eye. Ah! No! Then screams of despair came from the Enjomo, blaze net, but no matter how much they shouted, they still couldn't change their fate of death. Clicking sound came out, accompanied by the super strong attack power. The fragile ground was immediately smashed into a deep pit of several meters, and countless cracks in the spider webs spread, and this flaming Enjomo blaze net is also rustling out. The Revolutionary Army looked around, and saw that there was no one standing in the field, but there were dozens of corpses on the ground, lying on the ground. So strong, Ace-sama has become strong again. Yeah, Master Ace is much stronger than when he was at the top of the war, and his combat power is at least admiral level. It's no wonder that the leader of Baizi asked Lord Ace to cooperate with us, and now Doflamingo is dead. Hee, with Lord Ace, and the leader of Sabo, we will be able to take down Dressrosa. That's for sure. Although the leader of Sabo doesn't know how powerful he is, he will definitely not be weaker than Lord Ace. Hee, I can't wait. Seeing the strength of Ace today, Sabo curved a faint arc, and followed the leader of Baizi for so long. It would be really strange if Ace's strength was not so strong. But this time, after today, the kingdom of Dressrosa will become another territory liberated by the Revolutionary Army. Sabo, who was relieved, looked up at the sky. Mr. Long, in the future, I will let the Revolutionary Army spread all over the New World. Overthrow the will of the Tianlong people. Let me continue. Chapter 263 Liberate a city. Ace shot, after one blow. Doflamingo's confidants and elite cadres died directly, and their souls returned to hell. You must know that the Ace at this moment is not the Ace who was in the war before. Today's Ace has completely controlled the three-color hockey, developed the burning fruit to the extreme, and integrated armament hockey into it. Its lethality can be imagined. It is definitely not as simple as multiplying. No, run away, the adults are all dead. Above the border city wall, many guards of the Dressrosa kingdom saw that Doflamingo Tourmaline's henchmen and elite cadres were directly killed by Fire Fist Ace. In such a scene, they still had a half point of resistance belief, howling out. Sound, turned around and ran. For a time, the border cities were in chaos, but the people of the border cities were filled with hope in everyone's eyes. What, is the Revolutionary Army finally here? Doflamingo's reign is coming to an end, great. Shish, keep your voice down, it would be troublesome if Lord Doflamingo or the top cadres heard these words. What are you afraid of? This time, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, Sabo, personally led the team, and even the leader of the 2nd and 2nd Division of the Yanwang Pirates, Lord Ace, read more that the end of Brother Lumming is coming. Hey, I'm afraid it's not that easy. Doflamingo is in alliance with the 4 emperors Kaido of the Beasts and Blackbeard teach. They won't wait for the kingdom of Dressrosa to be liberated. Hey, I heard that this white party is coming, so Kaido of the Beasts and Blackbeard are not enough to see in front of Lord Baizi. When many people in the city were hotly discussing, Bo already waved his hand, and the wave-like revolutionary army rushed towards the city, and then the peak of the army pointed directly at Doflamingo's old lair, the palace of the kingdom of Dressrosa. Ow! Liberated, we are liberated. Seeing Sabo leading the revolutionary army into the city, countless people cheered, without the slightest fear, completely different from the previous life under Doflamingo's rule. Excitement, and excitement filled their hearts, and the excitement in their hearts was beyond words. They had heard news from other liberated countries more than once, and life in the liberated areas was simply paradise for them. And now the most important thing is that they are about to live a life that they can't even think about. Just imagine how they can keep calm. Seeing the jubilation of the people, Sabo's mouth curved into an arc. At this time, he understood the leader Long's original insistence, and Ace also had a smile on his face. As for the many behind the two, there is no such thing. The military cadres and members are all standing upright, enjoying the first rare victory after the death of the leader Long. It's too important to say. Sabo then left a cadre to maintain order in the city and wait for the triumph of their army. After arranging everything, Sabo took the lead and attacked in the direction of the palace of the Dressrosa kingdom without the slightest delay, because he wants to kill Doflamingo as soon as possible, preferably before Kaido of the Beasts arrives. In this way, they will be more confident to deal with the next war situation. Chapter 264 Soldiers approaching the city. Dressrosa Kingdom, where Doflamingo is located. The revolutionary army on the frontier was in full swing, while Doflamingo was leisurely drinking coffee in his palace, not caring about the so-called revolutionary army offensive. Reason for this is because Doflamingo is well aware that the revolutionary offensive in front of him is only the beginning, no matter what. The leader of the revolutionary army, Sabo, or Fire Fist Ace, in his opinion, are all insignificant figures. The most important person is that. The real leader behind the revolutionary army, the four emperors by Z, that is what he really wants. The existence of fear. Although the current Sabo and Ace are also quite good, but with them and a group of revolutionary army cadres, they want to eat his King Shichibukai Doflamingo, which is just wishful thinking. Report. This state didn't last long. A palace soldier in armor came from outside the palace with a pale face, and a loud voice rang out, and the sound wave bounced back in the empty palace, which seemed extraordinarily a bit awkward. Gloomy. Speak. Hearing the report from his confidant, Doflamingo put down the coffee cup in his hand and slowly stood up from the seat, his eyes staring at his confidant who was kneeling on one knee. Your Majesty, the revolutionary army has entered the king's city, and Lord Virgo is organizing a defense. It is estimated that he has now fought against the revolutionary King Sabo. On one knee reported the current situation tremblingly. Although the army was overwhelmed, he still did not believe that the revolutionary army could destroy them, because with His Majesty Doflamingo, who is like a god, those revolutionary there is only one way for the army and that is death. Oh. They came very quickly. Since they are courting death like this, then I will send them to hell in advance. The corners of Doflamingo's mouth raised a sinister arc, and I didn't see it. What action? The body disappeared in the same place, and reappeared, and it was already several meters behind the confidant's subordinate, which was strange. Just that. Your Majesty Doflamingo, he has awakened the devil fruit. That confidant saw Brother Doflamingo's strange movement, which he had never seen before. You can't be wrong, that is definitely the ability to awaken the devil fruit. Your Majesty has become so strong. This confidant, his eyes are full of worship and fanaticism at the moment. No wonder Your Majesty is so calm. It turns out that he has already awakened the devil fruit. The revolutionary army is finished. The confidant looked at Doflamingo's leaving back, the corners of his mouth flashed an extremely cruel arc, and he became more confident about the next battle. Just as Doflamingo left the palace, on the other side outside the royal city. Open black lens bracket Yang Yan close black lens bracket. Ace let out a low voice, and a beam of light burst out from the palm of his hand, which instantly attacked Virgo, the ghost bamboo on the opposite side. Open black lens bracket Rokushiki iron nugget close black lens bracket. The face of Ace's blow, each of them grew stronger. The right hand of Virgo, who was wearing sunglasses, was covered by a black Rokushiki iron block, and then slapped the attacking beam of flame, raised his hand and slapped it. The next instant, Ace hit the ground and slammed the ground into a deep pit, and Virgo's right palm was apparently fine. Hee, Fire Fist Ace, your strength is no more than that. Ghost Bamboo Virgo took Ace's blow with ease, and looked at Ace with a playful look in his eyes. He had already heard about this kid who caused the top war. This kid is obviously stronger than the top war. Much stronger. Chapter 265 Ace vs Ghost Bamboo Virgo. Huh, is that so? Virgo's words did not cause Ace to waver in the slightest. VV's mouth curved into an arc, and he looked at Virgo, the ghost bamboo opposite, with a smile, and drank a pop. The next instant, Virgo, who was originally flushed, turned pale, and then his body staggered back. With a puff, a mouthful of red blood spurted out, and his breath suddenly wilted for a few minutes. The surrounding Doflamingo's subordinates changed their expressions in an uproar when they saw that Lord Virgo was injured by a single blow. Lord Virgo. Impossible, that. How can Fire Fist Ace be so powerful, and hurt Virgo-sama in one move, bastard? Fake, it must be fake, I must be dreaming, yes, it must be. Master Virgo is so powerful, how could he be injured by a kid, that? Fire Fist Ace, the war on the top is just a poor bastard. The people around were in an uproar, and the morale of many of Doflamingo's subordinates was very low. Obviously, the impact of the scene in front of them was too great. In their perception, Virgo's master was invincible. Of Doflamingo's subordinates, the Revolutionary Army cadres and subordinates behind Sabo all had a gleam in their eyes. Obviously, Ace had more confidence in their victory over Doflamingo today. You must know the Ghost Bamboo Virgo, it is a well-known existence, the highest cadre under Doflamingo, and also one of Doflamingo's most trusted subordinates. Such beings, who were beaten by Ace Doflamingo, didn't look as scary and invincible as they thought. Cough cough. Stable body. The child's Virgo made a few violent noises, then looked at Ace on the opposite side again. His eyes flickered, but there was a little solemnity, and he said in a deep voice, Fire Fist Ace, I really underestimate you. I didn't expect that after the war, the Four Emperors by Z, it seems that armament hockey has been developed very well by you. Virgo felt the domineering armament tyrant in his body. He knew immediately that the flame of this kid in front of him could actually merge into armament hockey. To this extent, few people in the whole new world could do it. He, Virgo, greatly underestimated the talent of this guy in front of him. However, next, I will not give you another chance. Virgo held the ghost bamboo tightly in his hand, and with a snort, he stopped holding his hand immediately. Using the extremely skilled armament hockey, he instantly covered the entire arm, and then covered the entire ghost bamboo, turning his body into a black light, piercing the air, and instantly he slashed towards Ace. If this ghost bamboo was slashed, it would definitely die. Open black lens bracket Fire Fist close black lens bracket. Ace saw the arrival of Virgo, and the same Fire Fist greeted the ghost bamboo. The two intersected, and the fist and the ghost bamboo touched in an instant, and for a moment, it was like two stars colliding, and the thunder roared. The explosion without the four good omens exploded. Two of them as the center point, the invisible aura exploded, the clothes of the two of them were hunting, and many of the surrounding subordinates, I don't know how many people were forcibly overturned. Click. An overwhelmed voice sounded from the middle of the two of them. The ground was torn apart by the overflowing aftermath, and the deep dark hole was torn apart, and spread to both sides. In the blink of an eye, it spread more than 10 meters, and the surrounding subordinates even more. They all fled, for fear of harming the pond fish. Chapter 266 Defeat two senior cadres. After a hit and collision, the ground around them was directly ravaged by the super strong aura, and the fierce wind cut through the ground, tearing the already mottled ground with scars. Of Doflamingo's subordinates all looked horrified, completely not expecting the opponent's strength to be so strong. Gia, good chance. The battle between Virgo and Ace, a fist bigger than a house protruded from the city, crossed the city wall and pressed towards Ace and the Revolutionary Army, and the sound of tearing the air came out. The attack of the calcium carbide sparks arrives in the blink of an eye. The giant rock fist that covered the sky crashed down. Although it was not comparable to Bullet, it was by no means comparable to ordinary people. As one of Doflamingo's few senior cadres, his strength was beyond doubt. The little brat of the Revolutionary Army, die. The shrill voice came from the mouth of the huge rock giant, which was extremely inconsistent with the huge body. Voice was behind, and the fist in Sekka's hand was 1 point faster again. At this moment, Sekka's mind had already surfaced under his own punch. The picture of these revolutionary troops being smashed into patties by him, the more he thought about it, the more excited he became. The blood of the army must be especially delicious. Kai, open black lens bracket magma dragon claw close black lens bracket. Sakar's stern blow is about to be crushed. At the very critical moment, the index finger of the right hand and the middle finger are bent together, then the ring finger and the middle finger are separated, the ring finger and the little finger are bent together, and the thumb is slightly bent, magma fruit pours into the dragon. Claw. Figure flashed, and it appeared under the giant fist that covered the sky, the size of the house, and the dragon claws slammed towards the giant fist. Rumble and click, the moment of intersection, Sabo contains magma dragons. He pierced into Sekka's giant fist, and the endless magma was like the poison of rotten bones, rapidly spreading towards Sekka's whole body, and in the blink of an eye, Sekka's entire room giant fist. It was already covered with hot magma. Was extremely hot, and even if Ka, who was hiding in the rock, was caught off guard for the first time, he let out a shrill scream. At the same time, Ace's eyes widened. Open black lens bracket flame quitting fire pillar close black lens bracket. I saw Ace gathered around the flames and swirled. The next moment, the long burning column of Austria rose into the sky and came to the air. The next moment, it roared and turned it around. It turned into a red phantom and charged towards Virgo, who was holding the ghost bamboo on the opposite side. Not good. Open black lens bracket iron block close black lens bracket. Faced with Ace's powerful blow, Virgo didn't hesitate at all, and instantly used iron blocks all over his body, and his arms were covered with armament hockey and crossed in front of him, in order to resist Ace's super attack. Bang! Under the super strong impact, the ghost bamboo Virgo instantly turned into a one cannonball and flew towards the rear. The sound of clicking came from above his arms. The two arms were already shattered and fractured. The aftermath hit his chest, and the next moment, the sound of sternum shattered again, and Virgo's body slammed into the city wall, knocking the entire city wall into a big pit. A mouthful of PFF dripped with red blood. Ah! The moment when Ace took action to deal with Virgo, there was a shrill scream in the air, and Sabo did not know when he came to the head of Sekka, who was a rock giant over 1,000 feet. Open black lens bracket magma dragon's breath close black lens bracket. Sabo wrapped armament hockey and the fiery magma with his left and right hands, and then his fists touched Circa's brain. The next moment, centered on Sabo's feet, the endless rock shattered, and the magma rushed into the rock instantly. In the blink of an eye, Sekka, a giant of 1,000 feet of rock, was directly hit by Sabo, turned into a lava rain, and fell rustling. The scene was very spectacular. Chapter 267 Doflamingo now _ In the field, the expressions of countless defenders of the royal city changed drastically. Looked up at Lord Sekka, who fell from the sky and screamed mournfully, and the new leader of the revolutionary army, Sabo, who defeated their Lord Sekka in seconds. How could it be? That, Sabo, how could he be so strong? What a terrifying strength. It's too terrifying. Lord Sekka has absolutely no resistance in his hands. Can we really win? Lord Oniju Virgo was also defeated by Fire Fist Ace. Other cadres are also blocked by many cadres of the Revolutionary Army, we are afraid we can't hold it anymore. Damn, it turned out to be like this. No, we still have Lord Doflamingo, he will definitely defeat these revolutionary troops. The guards above the royal city were hotly debated, their pupils shrank inward, their eyes fixed on the arena. Obviously the impact of the current picture on them was not that big. At the same time, the Revolutionary Army side was very excited. Looking at the god of war Ace and their sable leader, in his eyes, the excitement in his heart are beyond words. Known Doflamingo high-ranking cadres, one Virgo, and the other Sekka, were easily suppressed by Lord Ace and the leader of Sabo, and then as long as they killed Doflamingo, the Drarosha kingdom would be successful in the revolution. Ace and Sabo were so brave, many cadres of the Revolutionary Army also pushed Doflamingo's subordinates and confidants back again and again with great energy, and the balance of victory kept tilting in the direction of the Revolutionary Army. Kill. For a time, the many subordinates of the Revolutionary Army were also ignited by the will to fight, and their blood rushed towards the Drarosha kingdom, and began to launch a general attack. Clap 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 clap. Just as many revolutionary troops rushed to the royal city, a crisp clapping sound came from above the royal city, and then a figure flickered out. She was wearing Ace's pointed toe shoes. Quote quote. After the unique laughter, a pair of eyes sullenly aimed at Sabo and Ace. I really didn't expect that the two young boys who fought in the war would dare to come to my Drarosha today. Even the previous dragons didn't dare to send troops so easily. I have to say that Sabo boy, you are very courageous, but you all have to die here today. Doflamingo's eyes flashed crazily, looking into the distance. Drarosha needs a baptism of blood too. Revolutionary Army, it seems that you are not as good as a dragon after all. Open black lens bracket 5 color lines close black lens bracket. A low voice, Doflamingo waved his right hand, tearing towards Sabo and Ace, and the unparalleled danger instantly bullied him, and Sabo Ace retreated one after another. Wherever the 5 color line swept, the earth and rocks crumbled, and many of the subordinates of the Revolutionary Army were swept by the 5 color line and died on the spot. Damn it, that bastard Doflamingo did it on purpose. Good strong, is this the most mysterious Doflamingo in Shichibukai? It's terrible. Can we really win? Open black lens bracket bounce line close black lens bracket. Doflamingo pointed his fingertips to the Revolutionary Army cadres who were fighting with his subordinates in the distance. In an instant, a silk thread rushed out at high speed, and instantly submerged into the shoulder armor of the Revolutionary Army. His subordinates seized the opportunity and smashed the Revolutionary Army cadre's heart with a punch, which turned into a black on, was seriously injured and flew to the ground, and fell unconscious on the spot. Chapter 268 _ Sabo Ace vs Doflamingo. The war situation was treacherous. Doflamingo's appearance instantly hit a high-level cadre of the Revolutionary Army, and at least a dozen people were swept away by the 5 color line, and died on the spot. The blushing blood on the front spot, Doflamingo's mouth flashed a cruel arc of blood. He likes this kind of picture the most, especially the bright red blood flowing out. In his opinion, it is the most beautiful picture in the world. Doflamingo, you are courting death. Seeing Doflamingo's cruel methods, Sabo's eyes soared with anger, and the soles of his feet flashed, turning into a black light, and attacking Doflamingo above the royal city. Open black lens bracket flame dragon breath close black lens bracket. Armament hockey covers the entire 3-fingered dragon claw, and the ability of the endless magma fruit surges wildly, rushing out in one move, with Sabo's right dragon claw as the center. The magma dragon, combined with the fighting technique, blasted away. Quote quote. Nice attack, but too slow. Voice. Doflamingo used the ability of empty way, and the invisible thin line bound the clouds in the sky. With one jump, he easily avoided Sabo's blow, and Doflamingo was directly in the attention of everyone. Hanging in the mouth. Open black lens bracket cross, fire close black lens bracket. Doflamingo just dodged Sabo's attack when his voice fell. From the air opposite him, he stepped on Rokushiki's ace, and crossed his 2 index fingers to form a cross. then the cross. A fiery flame shot out, instantly shooting towards Doflamingo, who was hanging in the air. Open black lens bracket cobweb wall close black lens bracket. Facing Ace's sudden attack, Doflamingo waved his hand calmly, and a large spider web of transparent silk threads was formed in front of him. Shape of a shield, cis cross. Fire completely blocked the cobweb wall, unable to go for half a minute. A bang, at the intersection, the blazing fire soared into the sky, forming a huge fireball, and inside the fireball was DeFranco, who was protected by a cobweb wall. Open black lens bracket Rokushiki skywalk close black lens bracket. With a low voice, Sabo knew very well that this was an excellent opportunity to attack Doflamingo. The soles of his feet swiped from above the royal city, and the next moment he rushed into the fireball. The dragon claws were used, and a crisp sound rang out. The sturdy cobweb wall shattered under the claws of Sabalon. Open black lens bracket foot shave line close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket dragon hook claw close black lens bracket. The two attacks were launched almost simultaneously, and the terrifying energy in the fireball spread to all directions in the next instant. After one blow, Doflamingo and Sabo flew out in unison. They all retreated hundreds of meters before stopping the retreat. The huge fireball between the two of them was also extinguished. Then, Doflamingo was on one side, and Sabo stepped on Rokushiki on the other side. It's interesting. Then next. Open black lens bracket super whiplash close black lens bracket. A loud shout, Doflamingo's eyes flashed with cold light. The strength of the two was much higher than he thought, and they had to fight quickly, because Doflamingo knew that after solving these two people, the Four Emperors Baizi was the real start. Voice fell, Brother Doflamingo stretched his hands back, and then pushed forward sharply, and then 10 almost transparent silk threads were intertwined and turned into a hair-thin thread, moving towards Sabo and I who were standing in the air. C immediately fell, and if this blow was successful, it would definitely split the person in half. Chapter 269 _ frequent tricks. Line, and it will arrive in the blink of an eye. Sabo's expression is solemn, and under the fully open armament hockey, he feels an extremely rich danger all over his body, and he moves and swept aside. When the head slashed the super whip, the air was instantly torn apart, and the terrifying attack force instantly split two high-rise buildings more than 100 meters away, forcibly splitting them into two halves, and the huge high-rise buildings collapsed in an instant. The rumbling sound hit the ear. Even if it was more than 100 meters away, it could be heard clearly, just like the roaring collapse in the ear, and the ground trembled obviously at that moment. Sabo and Ace in the air, their eyes narrowed slightly, their hearts sucked in a breath of cold air, their eyes filled with solemnity and disbelief. Strength of this Doflamingo is much stronger than they imagined. They were absolutely incredible before. Although Doflamingo is the most mysterious and the most powerful among the King Shichibukai, judging from the scene in front of him, it is not the case at all. Early days of King Shichibukai, he just gathered a few notorious pirates and cooperated with Marine. Doflamingo was later, became King Shichibukai, and occupied the kingdom of Dressrosa, and carried out illegal activities with various forces. Transaction. At this moment, Doflamingo's combat power is already comparable to Admiral's level. Today, I am afraid that there will be a fierce battle to fight. The defenders above the royal city watched as the two buildings were directly split in half by Doflamingo, their eyes filled with ecstasy. Long live His Majesty Doflamingo. Ha 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 ha, amazing, Boss Doflamingo is amazing. Two buildings, that's right, they were split in half right from the middle, tisk tisk, that's amazing. The Revolutionary Army is over, the two of NASA must not be the opponents of His Majesty Doflamingo. Well, that's Ken. Okay, we'll just wait to celebrate. Guards above the royal city were all excited, looking at their Majesty's great power. They couldn't help being excited and proud, they seemed to have seen the picture of being defeated by them. On the contrary, when the Revolutionary Army saw Doflamingo's terrifying attack, they all looked solemn. They also didn't expect that Doflamingo's strength was so high. Quote, "It seems that I finally know the fear." Doflamingo, who laughed strangely, controlled the super whip in his hand and attacked Sabois at the speed of light. In the face of Doflamingo's attack, Sabois obviously did not dare to be careless, and the scene of severing the building just now still appeared in their minds. Drink. Open black lens bracket die enkai, ente close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket magma dragon hook claw close black lens bracket. Dodging Doflamingo's blow, the two of Sabo attacked at the same time, and the super killing aura came, and they came to Doflamingo in an instant. Super Fireball and the giant magma dragon hook claws carried the power of destroying the sky and the earth, and attacked and killed the Doflamingo chemical workers. Two superb attacks came in an instant, and the rumbling super collision exploded from Doflamingo's body, and the sudden change shook everyone. Numerous cadres and subordinates of the Revolutionary Army stared at Gao Control with wide-eyed eyes, and even so, they could strongly feel the scorching heat and the terrifying aftermath. The defenders above the royal city looked at the sky where Doflamingo was hit. All of them looked as stupid as snow, fell into a sluggish state. How could this be? How could His Invincible His Majesty be hit from the back? It was impossible. This is impossible. Chapter 270 Scary Doflamingo. A loud roar, and the audience was horrified. In the high sky, Brother Doflamingo was attacked by the enemy, as if 3 stars roared and collided. Or the guards of the royal city were out of breath. The direction of the Revolutionary Army, when Doflamingo was suddenly hit by the leader of Sabo and Lord Ace, each of them had expressions of ecstasy. Are we here? Leader Sabo and Ace Sama's superb attack. That's it, then Doflamingo must be dead. Huh, it's finally over. The strength of Brother Doflamingo is frightening, to be honest. It's not. No wonder Shichibukai is called the most mysterious and strongest king. It's not without reason. It's amazing, it's amazing. Leader Sabo and Lord Ace cooperate so well. The two attacked almost at the same time and hit Doflamingo at the same time. It's worthy of being brothers. Ha ha ha, we won, we won. The King Shichibukai Doflamingo was defeated by us. It's really exciting. However, at a time when many of the Revolutionary Army's subordinates, chattering, and many guards above the royal city were full of incredible worries, in the field where 3 stars collided in the sky, Sabois' face was full of joy without a trace of joy. Dignified and gloomy. Because they found that just when they thought they had hit Doflamingo, they felt like their attack hit steel. No, something stronger than steel. At the same moment, the two felt the former danger in their hearts. Not good. Without the slightest hesitation, the two of Sabois fled away in a flash. At the moment when the two left, 2 tentacles composed of white lines attacked the place where the two had just stood. If Sabois didn't react fast enough, even if they didn't die, they would be completely incapacitated by this blow. Even so, the two of them were able to escape Doflamingo's attack, and the attack just now appeared in their minds, and they secretly wiped away their cold sweat. The attack from Doflamingo just now was so strange and terrible. Immediately, all eyes converged on the opposite side. At this moment, there was a spherical object wrapped in countless white lines, and the one being protected in it was none other than King Shichibukai, the target they were fighting against, King Shichibukai Doflamingo. Quote, accidental, really surprising. With the strange laughter, the white line with the top as a gap, shortened and opened downward, and then the figure of the King Shichibukai Doflamingo was revealed in it, and what was even more terrifying was that Sabo and Ace Chow had been attacked by Sabo and Ace Chow. Brother Duo Fu Langming, who had a strong blow, didn't have the slightest injury on his body, even the pink feathers didn't fall off even half a point. What? How is it possible? This is impossible. It's only right that it was hit just now. How could it be? Numerous cadres and countless subordinates of the Revolutionary Army saw an incredible scene, and they couldn't believe it was true. Facing the super blow from the leader of Sabo and Lord Ace, that King Shichibukai Doflamingo was not injured even a little bit. Looking at Doflamingo in the air again, The eyes of many revolutionary troops were full of fear and horror. How could Doflamingo have such a result? Chapter 271 Awakened Threadfruit. Drirasa Kingdom, before the royal city. Regardless of the revolutionary army or the guards of the royal city, they all looked up at the sky, and countless lines of sight gathered in the air. After being hit by Sabwa, Doflamingo was still unharmed. The Wangcheng guard suddenly fell into a boiling state. Ow! Endless cheers came from above the royal city, rose in the air, and did not dissipate for a long time. On the other hand, the direction of the revolutionary army, whether it was cadres or subordinates, was full of solemnity. Obviously, the sudden scene in the field was greatly unexpected. Exceeded their expectations. Stunned attack, that Doflamingo of Shichibukai, the king, was nothing at all. How could he fight? Because of the Doflamingo here, the transcendent strength has completely exceeded their comprehension range. They are completely incomprehensible at this level. Damn, how could this be, that? How could Doflamingo not only have many cadres and subordinates of the revolutionary army, but also Sabo and Ace who had already fallen to the ground, with the same solemn expressions on their faces? That's the real awakening of the devil. Doflamingo's devil fruit has also awakened. The strange scene is the same as the assimilation of surrounding objects after Bullet's awakening. After Bullet, another able-bodied devil fruit awakened, and this person is not someone else, but their target this time, Shichibukai, the king, usurped Delero. Doflamingo of Sa Kingdom. Why, even with this little strength, dares to look at Sabo on the ground. Although this kid is very weak, he has magma fruit in his body, but after all, he is too young. If you only have this ability, just die. The corners of Doflamingo's mouth evoked a devilish arc. Sticking out his right palm, Vivi lifted it upwards, and looked at Sabo and Ace playfully like an ant from the sky. In the next instant, countless white thin-line waterfalls broke out from the ground and went straight to Sabo and Ace. The sharp white bottom lines turned into hooks. If they were stabbed, they would be seriously injured if they didn't die. Bad, Leader Sabo and Lord Ace are in danger. Numerous revolutionary army cadres and subordinates are bleeding gloomily. At this time, Sabo and Ace can be said to be their strongest combat power. If they are not the opponents of the King Shichibukai Dofu Langming, today's battle situation, right? For their revolutionary army, it is absolutely an unprecedented disaster. Today, I will let you see the ability of the real thread fruit after awakening. Doflamingo's voice fell, and instantly burst out from the ground below Sabo and Ace's opponents. Tens of thousands of thin white lines were like ocean waves, and the waves attacked, open black lens bracket white lines in wild waves close black lens bracket. Voice, the wave-like white lines in all directions attacked towards Sabwa, forcing the range of their activities to become smaller and smaller, and the situation became more and more unfavorable for the two of them. 10 feet, 9 feet, 8 feet, 7 feet. The space for the two of them to fight back was reduced to within 5 feet in the blink of an eye, and Sabwa looked solemn. Open black lens bracket mirror flame close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket magma dragon's breath close black lens bracket. The two shouts swayed, and the next moment the two attacks were bombarded with the wave-like barren waves and white lines, and the 18th magnitude earthquake exploded with a bang, as if a world-destroying thunderbolt fell on the field. After one blow, Sabois retreated again and again, and Doflamingo on the opposite side was also interrupted by the super attack. Everyone in the field swallowed their saliva. It is the end of the world, the entire Wangchengxia has been destroyed by the three attacks. Chapter 272 That Doflamingo is so strong. Outside the kingdom of Dre Rosa. Open black lens bracket Rokushiki moon step musket close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket meteor volcano dragon claw fist close black lens bracket. Facing the awakening of Doflamingo's devil fruit, Sabwa didn't dare to be careless anymore. After breaking free from the white line of the barren waves, he directly used his full combat power and used his own stunts. Ace kept flickering in the air, each flickering a flame of light-speed surprise attack on Doflamingo, and Sabo on the ground made use of new abilities developed. The next instant, Sabo's double fists turned into lava to produce a large number of dragon claw attacks, like the magma dragon claw fists of a meteor shower, falling from the air and crushing Doflamingo towards Doflamingo. Countless attacks, with the tacit cooperation of Sabo and Ace, seemed to have turned into a torrent that covered the sky, and it was about to cover Doflamingo in an instant. Violent attack, one by one, they were all heartbroken and terrified. Such a world-destroying attack is obviously a lot bigger than the previous wall. Quote, "Are you doing your best?" Doflamingo, who murmured a word, let out a peculiar laughter, facing the countless attacks from the top, as if he had never seen it before. Whether it was Sabo or all the people under the royal city, all eyes were focused on him without the slightest hint. Doflamingo in action. This kind of strength is a bit interesting, but it's not enough to see. Doflamingo's eyes curled into a playful arc, and Vivi let out a low voice, "Shield white line." Under the overwhelming attack, Doflamingo regained the ability of the magic fruit, and countless huge lines appeared from the ground, as if there was life, under Doflamingo's control. Resisted all the overwhelming attacks. Bang 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 bang, 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 and rumbling sounds, rippling endlessly in the ears, every blow is deafening, a buzzing sound. After a while, all the attacks were settled, and Doflamingo, who was shrouded by the attack from the sky, showed his figure again, and when they saw the situation of Doflamingo at the moment, everyone's heart twitched fiercely. It possible to ride a horse? That, Doflamingo, as before, nothing happened. Damn, how could this be? The attacks of Leader Sabo and Lord Ace are already terrifyingly strong, how could it be so? That, Brother Doflamingo is so strong, really strong. What should I do? Such an attack can't hurt Doflamingo, I'm afraid it will be dangerous. No, it's impossible, how could Master Sabo and Master Ace be so powerful that they could lose to Doflamingo? Yes, Doflamingo must be pretending, yes, it must be so. Direction of the Revolutionary Army, the guards on the royal city, many of Doflamingo's henchmen and subordinates are all excited and powerful, and Lord Doflamingo is too powerful. Long live your majesty. A voice sounded out of nowhere, and then the incomparably uniform sound of the entire royal city rose up, filling the sky of the king city, lingering in everyone's ears, the soldiers guarding the king city, the morale at this moment, unprecedentedly high. Sabo looked at each other, looking at the situation in front of him, with a solemn expression on his face. The development of the matter was something they had never imagined, and they greatly underestimated the combat power of this Doflamingo. Chapter 273 Revolutionary Army Crisis. Long live your majesty. The excited howls in the field pierced the air and swept away, filling every corner of the sky above the royal city, with unparalleled sound waves rippling across the four poles, spreading to further distances. Of the soldiers above the royal city in the Dressrosa kingdom was unprecedentedly high. Ha 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 ha, your majesty is amazing, so amazing. Sabo of the Revolutionary Army and that Ace seems to be defeated. That's right, I seem to have seen the two of them end in an extremely tragic end, it must be very special, hehehehe. I'm looking for something dead. I really think that our Dressrosa kingdom is easy to bully. What about the Revolutionary Army? Even if the dead dragon is here at this moment, I'm afraid it will be difficult to change the war situation. Yes, your majesty's state is very similar to that one. Bullet's devil fruit has awakened, and our majesty may have awakened the devil fruit too. I think so too. Now let them bear the wrath of Lord Doflamingo, and let the blood of the Revolutionary Army baptize the Dressrosa kingdom. Feeling the shouts of the soldiers below, Brother Doflamingo raised a playful and mocking arc, and his eyes aimed at the solemn and Ace. Quote, it seems that your level is only so. The strength of the two is indeed very strong, but in front of him who has already awakened the devil fruit, it is obviously not enough to see. looking at the revolutionary army of nearly 100,000 in the distance. Togo haha isho, it seems that he has emerged under the king's city. The blood flowed into a river and turned into a picture of sheer as hell. Hee, if that's the case, then you all go to die. Hey, don't worry, after you die, I will let all the revolutionary troops here be buried with you. Dover. Brother Lang Ming's face was ferocious, his eyes narrowed slightly. Of course he knew the truth of the change after a long time. Open black lens bracket big wave white line close black lens bracket. Without hesitation, under Doflamingo's activation of the devil fruit, a strange scene appeared in the next moment. The entire royal city, many surrounding buildings and grounds were assimilated into countless waves of whiteness by Doflamingo's ability. The line is like an enhanced version of the white line of the wild waves just now. The giant waves and white line rises into the sky like a tidal wave, and the next moment, it carries the power of destroying the sky and destroying the earth towards Sabwa, penetrating the space and crossing it. Beaming, tyrant's attack is imminent. Open black lens bracket magma dragon breath close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Enjomo blaze net close black lens bracket. The two attacks also suddenly greeted the giant waves and white line. They knew that they could not retreat. If they retreated, the revolutionary army behind them would suffer heavy losses. The roar of the roaring star explosion exploded from the field in an instant, and the white line of the huge wave, carrying the unparalleled speed, penetrated Ace's Enjomo blaze net and Sabo's dragon breath, and stabbed the two people fiercely. Shoulder. Poof. Poof. Of blood flowed, one escaped, and under the pain, Sabias continued to be more than 100 meters away, and the two people here were already injured. With a little armament hockey, it can resist hitting devil fruits. Leader Sob. Master Ace. The two Sabo were injured by a single blow, and the faces of the many cadres and subordinates of the revolutionary army suddenly changed. Without causing them any further worries, the great wave white line, that once again covered the sky again roared towards Sabias. Tearing the air and rushing westward, completely in a posture of killing the two on the spot. Chapter 274_Susanohu's present royal castle. The monstrous waves and white lines came towards Esabo overwhelmingly, and they were instantly submerged, and the white lines covered the sky. TV sparks, all-powerful thunder. Open black lens bracket Major Susano close black lens bracket. Thunderstorm shouted, and in the next instant, between the overwhelming white lines of giant waves, a 1,000-foot-high Susano walked on the white line, and inside the 1,000-foot Susano were the seriously injured Sabo and he. Ace and the two of them, no matter how the external great waves and white lines raged and attacked, they were all super strong defenses that could not penetrate the powerful version of Susanohu. That's Kakashi, it's Kakashi-sama. Many cadres and 100,000 subordinates of the revolutionary army looked up at the blue giant thousands of feet in the sky. In such a form, it was none other than the apprentice of their leader Baizi, Hitaki Kakashi, and everyone in the revolutionary army. Appears, becomes again, be confident. You are here. Ace saw Kakashi, he breathed a sigh of relief. As early as when Kakashi went to the Yanwang pirates, his strength was no less than his own. Coupled with Baizi's careful training, although he didn't know how strong he was, strength is absolutely above oneself. Wings on his back armor, and held two giant swords in his hands. He leapt and spread his wings soaring in the sky, and finally handed Sabo and Ace to the revolutionary army. Leave the rest to me. You take everyone and push them thousands of feet away. Kakashi didn't say much, he explained to Ace and Sabo, and showed his soaring again, directly rising into the air. Leader Sob, we. Subordinates stepped forward to help Sabo and Ace, and one of the officials looked at the sky with fearful eyes. In the field of the white line, to be honest, it is impossible to not be afraid of the power of heaven and earth. Who is that person? It's so terrifying that he resisted Lord Doflamingo's attack alone. This person is not simple. He has the level of combat power of the vice-captain of the Yellow Pirates. When Bullet went to Fishman Island, he knew that he was the one who took the super blow of Bullet, awakening devil fruit at the critical moment. Yes, this person is one of the apprentices of the 4 Emperor Baizi. His strength is terrifying and scary, and he is only in his early 20s. The most important thing is that the current state of this Kakashi is completely different from the rumors. He has no wings on his back, and he doesn't have 2 long swords in his hand, but his form, this should be his strongest state. Why is it that Baizi's apprentice is so strong? Countless Doflamingo's subordinates and confidants all swallowed their saliva above the gudu Wangcheng. Obviously, Kakashi's presence also means that the real battle is about to start. They know very well that the battle that is taking place in front of them is just the battle between the Dressrosa Kingdom and the Revolutionary Army, and it will not be long before a great battle will start. At that time, not only the Yanwang pirates will participate in the battle, but the other 2 for Kaido of the Beasts and Blackbeard Teach also won't let go. Because, both of them and their side have both been prosperous and damaged. If their Dressrosa Kingdom is destroyed, then the next one will be Kaido of the Beasts or Blackbeard Teach. Even if they don't shoot, at that time, their status will also collapse, and even become a joke in the New World. Chapter 275 Kakashi vs. Doflamingo. Quote. It's interesting, you are the one. Kakashi, the land of Baizi, it seems that the one who should come is finally here. Looking at mighty Susanoo, Doflamingo's weird issue, his eyes flickered with excitement, and his awakened devil fruit ability, the white line, was already against Kakashi, who was in the state of majestic Susanoo. No real damage at all. Above the royal city, brother Duofu Langming stood up with his right hand, and the many confidants and subordinates behind him saw this, and all retreated. Retreat. Everyone retreats. Is the real war finally about to begin? My God, the devil fruit awakened by Lord Doflamingo has little effect on that guy. Next, I'm afraid there will be a terrible battle. Hurry back, the next battle is definitely not something we can resist. Today the Dressrosa Kingdom is destined to bleed into a river. Countless soldiers and soldiers of the Dressrosa Kingdom defending the city stared solemnly at their Majesty Doflamingo, who stood across from the field, and Susanoo, who was in a state of majesty. Battle of the world is on the verge of breaking out. The fighting intentions of the 2 sides are all rushing. I really underestimate your Yanwang pirates. Since that is the case, then let you see my true strength. Brother Doflamingo was strange again looking at the opposite person with a cold snort. The bottom of his eyes were full of wisps of cold light. Open black lens bracket Uehara white wave close black lens bracket. Doflamingo lowered the ground around him as the center point, and under the action of awakening the devil fruit, a sea of white lines and turbulent waves formed in time. 5 jong, 10 jong, hundreds of jong in the blink of an eye, within a radius of 1,000 jong, it turned into a huge ocean of waves formed by white threads, and the white threads on the sponge were surging and twisting wildly, strangling towards Kakashi, who was wearing a mighty Susanoo, twisting up. The white line covering the sky will instantly drown Kakashi in Susanoo's state, and Kakashi's back wings vibrate, and the 2 long swords in his hand are transformed into Uehara white wave entwined by phantom cutting, and the 2 sides are fighting fiercely. Every move is deadly, and every move is murderous. Open black lens bracket Susanoo divine power close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lei Duntaoguang close black lens bracket. Without the slightest hesitation, Kakashiwe used 2 moves in succession while pretending to be Susanoo, and the arrow of lightning that was fired in Susanoo's state instantly appeared in the Uehara white wave, at the speed of traveling through space. In front of Doflamingo. Open black lens bracket shield white line close black lens bracket. The sudden attack greatly exceeded Doflamingo's expectations, and his complexion suddenly changed. Even though he used an absolute defense, although he had observation haki, he still hit with a little light on his back, and Doflamingo instantly burst into flames. After retreating more than 100 feet, a mouthful of red blood spurted out, Fukai, and the blood flower fell from the air. Revolutionary Army all eyes widened when they saw this scene, even Sabo was stunned. This Kakashi's strength is so strong. Sabo never imagined that a guy of the same age as him would have the strength to injure Doflamingo head-on. When he came to the Yanwang pirates to worship Captain Baizi as his teacher, his strength was not lower than mine. It's not surprising that he has such strength now. Compared with Sabo and many revolutionary armies, Ace's shock is not so much, and, now it is not. Kakashi's all-strength. Chapter 276_Battle Escalation. In the field, the sky and the earth were destroyed, and the battle was endless. The subordinates of the Revolutionary Army were all staring at the boss, looking at more than 1,000 meters away from the center of the battle. My god, it's so terrifying that Kakashi-sama is so amazing. Yeah, when the various rebel alliances attacked the headquarters, I didn't see how he made a move. It turns out that his strength is already so strong, and this combat power is at least the level of the grand prize. Tisk tisk, it's unbelievable. It's too shocking. The grand prize level, have all the apprentices of Leader Baizi reached the admiral level? If you and Doflamingo can occupy this state, if it weren't for the power of the grand prize, I am afraid that I would have died many times. Strong, Nyang Exapi is too strong. Grandma, I'm very curious. How powerful are the subordinates of the Leader Baizi now? You must know that none of the 3 deputy captains have appeared. Cough cough. Doflamingo, who was repairing quickly, looked at Kakashi in Susanoo's state, who was facing him, completely solemn. He never imagined that the guy's attack could hurt himself in his awakened devil fruit state. Extremely sullen, I really didn't expect that Baizi's disciples have grown up to such a state, which is really surprising. The sensible Doflamingo looked gloomy and said, however, this alone is not enough. Open black lens bracket 1,000 arrows piercing the heart feather strike line close black lens bracket. With a loud roar, the next moment there was a little bit under the ground, and thousands of silk threads wrapped around armament hockey instantly surged up, like the wings of a flamingo, instantly penetrating thousands of feet. Kakashi and Susanoo in a pose. The speed is so fast that it will come in an instant. Everyone beyond 1,000 meters breathed a sigh of relief, obviously realizing that the battle was revived again, and the attack power was rising layer by layer. Especially Sabo and Ace, seeing Doflamingo fused with armament hockey's silk feather strike. If they were to fight Doflamingo, that guy used this trick, they would have been defeated long ago, even if it's all said. Strong. It's really not ordinary. Thousands of armament hockey's white lines attacked. Kakashi also looked solemn, because he also felt the extreme danger from it, and he was on guard and did not dare to be careless. Open black lens bracket Susanoo almighty push close black lens bracket. Of white line attacks fused with armament hockey, the moment the speed of light hit, Kakashi also responded, using nothing but the almighty push that definitely rebounded in Susanoo's state. Of the rebounding force of the booming boom was like a world-destroying thunderbolt falling within 1,000 feet of the king's city. The city wall of special material was like a piece of paper under this kind of confrontation. Powder, floating down. With the intersection of the 2 attacks as the center, a hurricane slammed without warning. Even Sabwa and others from thousands of meters away could clearly feel the strong wind blowing towards them. The ground beneath the royal city was cracked and strangled. The destruction was unimpressive. A huge pit with a radius of several hundred meters appeared in everyone's field of vision, and standing in the center of the huge pit, was the almighty cast. Push, Kakashi, and there is no more white line in the deep pit.